Okay, this is why I don't like shows like Love is Blind. This is exactly why I don't like shows like Love is Blind and Married at First Sight and all the things that fall under that umbrella. So for those who don't know, Clay was on Love is Blind. This is his mum, Clay's mum. This is Celina Powell. He didn't get married on the show. He actually broke up with the girl he was with at the altar. That just shows that, the type of person we're dealing with. But now, well, I don't know if today, but recently, as in this week, he was dating Celina Powell. She started posting stuff. Celina Powell, for those who don't know, she goes on the internet, she talks about guys she's like been with sexually and rappers and athletes and stuff like that. Okay, cool. And his mum has called him out on it on social media, and right now it's just a mess. Obviously, when it all came out that he was apparently dating or hanging out with Celina Powell, the publicist that he was working with, and when he left the show, kind of said, listen, I had nothing to do with this. I stopped working with him in April. I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Allegedly, this is Celina Powell. She's basically kind of exposing that, you told Clay to cry on the reunion and say that AD was the love of his life and blah, 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 blah. And that the show paid him money to stay on the show. Now, you see, this is why I don't like shows like Love is Blind, Married at First Sight. Even though I have watched seasons of the show, I've watched the Australian version of Married at First Sight, the British version. I've watched a couple seasons of Love is Blind America. And I just feel like people are now going on these shows with no intention to actually be married, okay? It's a reality show. Ultimately, it's an entertainment show. So the producers of this show are doing things for entertainment purposes. Clay even said he was approached on Instagram, okay? He didn't apply for the show. He was approached on Instagram. He said to the producers, I don't want to be married. Do you know what I mean? So obviously on the show, he was kind of saying like, wow, like people actually get married. And from what I believe, the American version, they actually get legally married, right? I don't, in like Married at First Sight, the UK version, I don't think they legally get married, but they're married, quote unquote, and they have to live together and stuff like that. But when you have shows like this become reality shows, this is where stuff like the Clay situation and all that stuff come out, and there's been other instances of people that have been accused of domestic violence or have appeared on the show, or people that actually have relationships outside of the show being on this show. So it's like the producers aren't doing their due diligence. You're casting people that have no intention of being married, or you're casting a lot of people based on their looks or whatever, or you're purposely putting people on shows like this that clearly are not going to get on, okay? Like, for example, more so Married at First Sight, where people are married into complete strangers. It's like they're putting people they know they're not going to get on together just to make good TV. And I just feel like with something as sacred and important as marriage, obviously you have like people that do arranged marriages and things like that, but they actually want to be married, what I would hope. But when you have shows like even Love Island do it now, you're not having people going on a show because they want to find love or whatnot. They know that being on this type of reality show can catapult them into a lot of other things. You're now known across the world, okay? So you see it as an opportunity to build your brand or to leave the job you were doing to make money elsewhere or whatnot. And if you find someone, that's like the last thing on your mind. And that's what I personally don't agree with, okay? Because someone like Clay should have never been on this show. Someone like Clay should have never been on this show. He even said as well, he is a very visual person. So when he likes a woman, it's a lot of it initially is based on how she looks, okay? And he doesn't seem to like women that look like AD. In my opinion, clearly if he was messing with Celina Powell, he said he likes Coi Leray. AD was not his spec, and he was told that he was paid extra money to stay on the show, and I think this is why. So I was watching Jessie Woo. She's a YouTuber, and she's a presenter in America, and then she basically said that Clay was probably given a financial incentive to stay on the show because there was another couple on the show, I don't know their names, but a black man and a white woman that kind of fell apart before they even got to the altar. That would have meant AD and Clay were the only other black people on the show, and they probably didn't want to get rid of all the black people on the show, because then it would literally only be white people left on the show. Things like this is, do you know what I mean? So you're giving contestants money to stay on the show because you want representation of their race on the show. This is, I just don't think this is type of show good for your mental health. But I just wanted to just say that, because when people say, oh, when I tell people I don't really watch Love is Blind, they're like, why? And I'm like, because this is not the type of show that I want to watch. Like, if I do watch shows like this, I want people that actually committed to trying to be married and working and have done work on themselves and want to start a family, want to start a thing. Not just people that want to be on reality TV. And it's like, what else? What type of other reality shows are going to have? Someone that is getting pregnant by a random sperm donation. Is that the new reality show? Like, where does the line stop? At some point we need to be like, no, this is not the type of content we should be making. These are not the type of programs we should be making. Because people come on the show and the producers aren't taking it seriously or not thinking about stuff like this, and the people on the show are not thinking about it as well. They just want to be on TV, or are acting or pretend and stuff like that, or they've got wives and husbands at home, but they come on the show for an opportunity. And I just feel like something like this is just too serious of a thing to be a show. That just is my take.